Once again, we have a parasha this Shabbat that is named after a person, Balak. It's not the first time. It's actually the third time in Sefer of Bamidbar, as we had a few weeks ago Parashat Korach, and just ahead of us Parashat Pinchas, both Jewish men. Unlike those, this week's parasha is named after a non-Jew, after a man named Balak. And it happens to be that this will be the main character together with another non-Jew, Bilam, that will be really displayed in the parasha. And we wonder, having a parasha named after someone is definitely a big deal. Was Balak a good guy? Was he a bad guy? We know about Bilam that definitely, even though the Pesukim are not very clear, Hazal are very unanimous about the true nature and intention of Bilam. He was definitely a Rasha. But what about Balak? On one hand, he did try to hurt us. On the other hand, he tried to protect his people. So we have another invitation from Chachamim to really take the time that we should and reflect on the name of the parasha, Parashat Balak. What is this about? What is in this for us? And I was thinking that there is a very close Arabic word to the name Balak, and that is the word balash. It's not a joke. Balash means cheap, without effort, without investment. Haki balash, cheap talk. And the truth is that even in Hebrew, there is the root word that is very close to that, because the word beli, bal yera'eh, bal yamatzeh, the word bet lamed is always about the lack of something. And interestingly enough, it's not just Balak that has these two letters as part of his name, but also Bilam. It starts the same way. Balak and Bilam. Is there a pattern? Is there a message behind? Well, if we think about Bilam himself, then it's definitely something about his personality, about his level. As you all know, Bilam was at the same level in Moshe Rabbeinu, Velo kam naviot beYisrael keMoshe, meaning that the highest, best, greatest prophet leader that we ever had was Moshe Rabbeinu. There was never anyone in the world equal to him, but that's only by Jews. The nations did have someone on the same level of Moshe, and that person was Bilam. However, when we put in contrast Moshe Rabbeinu and Bilam's legacy, there's nothing to be compared. What did Bilam do? What did Bilam achieve? And most importantly, did Bilam work on himself? How did he get that gift? How did he become a Navi or a Kosem? Well, it was definitely a very balash step. He didn't work for that, and for that reason, it didn't last. He had a tragic end. And on the same exact spirit, we can also find a very strong comparison to Balak's attitude and Balak's initiative as well. Because Balak really tried to find the easy way out. He tried to protect his people without using weapons, without going into war, and without making any sacrifice, making an investment, without taking any risk. That was again a balash step, a balash attitude. And by the way, these are not the two only people that have this pattern in the parasha. If we go all the way until the end of the parasha, when unfortunately the last advice that Bilam gave to Balak to hurt Am Israel did work, as he gave them the Benot Midian, the Benot Moav, as the trigger of the Magefah that followed up. How did it all start? How did Am Israel get involved in the sin of Gilui Arayot? How did they fall in the trap? And the Midrash tells us what happened. Bilam told Balak, open a huge mall, a shopping mall, next to the camp of Am Israel, and attract them, not just with good merchandise, attract them with good prices. Make sure that you give them a discount. Buy one, get one free. 70% sales. And you know what happens? All the Jewish men went there. with a good intention to satisfy their wives, to buy something nice for the house, right? Or for the tent. And that's how they fell in the trap. The old lady was outside, the young lady, beautiful lady, was inside, and eventually they could not resist the temptation. But how did it all start? Well, it started exactly with the same exact attitude, where I am looking for the easy way out. I am looking for the minimum effort. So there is a pattern. And the name of the parasha, with those two letters, Bet and Lamed, Bal, Beli, Balash, all that, is a reminder of the way that life works. If it's too easy, it's probably wrong. If it's too easy, you're probably on the wrong track. Using a shortcut in the business usually means that you're going to have to cut some corners and do something wrong. Using shortcuts and segulot in our relationships is also not the right attitude. In the Avodat Hashem, to find segulot and to find all kind of different tips, instead of investing ourselves, instead of doing it consistently with effort, is not going to take us very far. Naturally, building something always takes time and effort. Destroying something is quite the opposite. When you build a house, it's going to take months, if not years, and to destroy it a few seconds. When we build a relationship and we make it stronger, it's going to also take us a lot of time and effort and energy and money. And of course, I'm sure everybody understands also that if I want to lose weight, it's going to take also some time. There's no easy way out. To gain weight, pretty easy. This is the way Hashem created the world, and that is a reminder of the way that we should invest ourselves in the things that matter for us. Looking for the easy way out usually doesn't pay and doesn't last. Embracing the effort, embracing the investment, showing that we truly care, is the right way to do the Avodat Hashem, is the right way to reach happiness and true success in our life. Shabbat Shalom U'Morach.